Hi, I'm Dr. Jeff Nickel. There's been a person attached to nearly every pet I've ever treated. It's been a rare four-legged creature who has walked into my office alone, requesting treatment for diabetes, a fracture, a nasty case of diarrhea, or a serious behavior disorder. They all show up with a flesh and blood human in tow, someone with an emotional, vested interest in their well-being. Many of these pet parents seek help early, but some have to dabble in trying to solve it themselves. But that's just water under the bridge. A veterinarian can only be truly helpful if all judgment is abandoned at the back door of the animal hospital. Actually, the dumpster's a better place for criticism. Everybody makes mistakes. We come to work to give service. Oh, sure, some people do dumb stuff. It is interesting, though. Almost everybody who has ever sat down with me for a behavior consultation on their pet's disasters has tried and failed at solving the problem. Sometimes they're proud of the punishments and retributions they've meted out, in some cases to assure that the dog doesn't think he or she has won a test of wills with its person. The commonly used term is dominance. Really? Should we engage in a pitched battle with man's and women's best friends? They are not our adversaries. There is a much better way. Actually, it's okay. At least these folks realized that they were getting nowhere and called to make an appointment. Mark Twain said, "It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so." Old Mark was right, but he left out an important benefit of mistakes and ignorance. If we realized we screwed it up, we can learn to avoid that dysfunctional line of thought and replace it with some real information, not just quick fixes or shortcuts. Safety, especially for children, has to be the first priority in every case. The most basic rule for families is that kids and pets should always be supervised when they're together. Now that sounds simple enough, but, people are imperfect. There were 4 responsible adults right there with me and Buster when I escaped serious disfigurement at age 4. The grown-ups just looked away at the wrong time. They wished they'd paid better attention. I was lucky. Here's another takeaway. There are always lessons to be learned when things go wrong, just as long as we don't let our emotions add to the damage. Use your prefrontal thinking brain rather than your gut and create distance from a behavior challenge. Literally, walk away and shift your mental focus. The disaster will still be there in 10 minutes, just waiting for your logic and your leadership. There are so many pet behavior problems. As more research uncovers the underlying causes and treatments, we practitioners fall in line and put them to work. Scholarly articles are published and textbooks are cranked out. We're doing the best we can at this imperfect science. So if your pet's problems are a big enough concern that you've got your knickers in a twist, you can do a very big service for yourself, other humans who are close to you, and to your dog or cat to hunt down and find a credentialed professional to help you sort it out. However you choose to proceed, be sure not to act on impulse. That's a bad choice because you might do something rash like punishing fear or removing choices from a member of a different species who is trapped in a human domicile with creatures who are huge in comparison and may, at times, behave like scary monsters, like a 4-year-old future veterinarian. Arrgh! Our dogs and cats are remarkable because the majority of them do so well living, if you can call it that in some cases, in a contrived environment, that is, a human world. We've all heard the great litany of oxymorons like military intelligence or jumbo shrimp or living in Nebraska. Oh, of course, I don't mean to offend. Some of my best friends are really big shrimp, or bright soldiers, or Nebraskans having a whale of a good time watching whatever sport it is they enjoy while husking corn. But let's get serious. What is living really? Most people listening to this have a great deal in common with me. We stand upright on 2 legs, speak intelligible words, and think everybody else is just like us, or at least they should want to be, damn it. Well, if I were president, I'd make a law that everybody had to agree with me on everything. Wouldn't that be great? I could tell the entire population what to think, and life would be grand. If this absurdity makes sense to you, please close this book and leave it in your outhouse where, like an old Sears catalog, it can be repurposed. We humans are a diverse lot with disparate interests and preferences. Here's a revelation. Despite the bonds we share, there are significant behavioral differences between companion animals and humans. Not only are our pets not little people in furry suits, they're not even human wannabes. What may be perfectly legitimate behavioral solutions for people who do inappropriate things are often utter failures for horses, cats, and dogs. The wrong methods can darken animals' emotional states, scare them badly, and dramatically worsen their behaviors. If we don't allow our dogs and cats to live in ways that are consistent with their genetic programming, we're setting them up for failure in our human world. There's a huge number of well-loved pets who aren't really living. Oh, they're getting by, incarcerated in a strange place like our house, adapting as best they can. Providing others with the benefit of the old golden rule has long been the standard for the treatment of others, hasn't it? I know how I want to be treated, so I will extend the identical courtesies to others. Sometimes that works. I want other people to be nice to me, so I'll be nice to them. Well, simple enough, but there are lots of small differences that can add up to significant conflicts. No matter how much we think other people are just like us, it's actually much better to give them permission to be who they are. Our dogs and cats deserve nothing less. They can't be people. They must have the rights and privileges that are naturally and legitimately theirs to enjoy and endure. Too bad they can't speak words that can make their requirements clear to us. Stay tuned for specifics on setting your pets up for success living with a different species. That's you and me. I hope you found this information valuable. You're welcome to share this podcast with any of your pet-loving friends. Each week, I share a short video, a podcast, or a blog to help bring out the best in pets and their people. You can sign up at no charge on my website, drjeffnicol.com. That's drjeffnicchol.com. And when you do, I'll send you my free at-home pet first aid and CPR guide. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. Jeff Nicol.